Well, in a restaurant, in every dining establishment, we need to conduct, and it is a must, to have a small meeting before operations begins. If the operation begins around 6 o'clock, the meeting has to be made 4:45 or 15 minutes prior to the operation. It is a must, as we need to know every single details, as we have to be alert on all the operation needs and wants and what to be prepared on that certain shift or operating days. In every establishment or any restaurants, before the day begins, before the operation starts, we need to have this, and it is a must and it is important to have this meeting held 15 minutes prior to operations. It is a must because it gives you ideas, knowledge of what we will be doing on that certain day. Hi, my name is Mix, your online trainer. Let me discuss to you about pre-operations briefing. Well, what is pre-operations briefing, by the way? A pre-operations meeting is a crucial preparatory gathering before a specific task or project begins, used to align stakeholders, discuss plans, identify risk, and ensure all necessary safety measures and procedures are understood. While for the F&B department, it is a preparatory or preparations or pre-operations meeting, a crucial preparatory gathering before a specific shift begins, used to align individuals, discuss plans, identify risk, and ensure all necessary informations and procedures are understood. It streamlines execution of confirming communications, station assignment, side duties, and reviewing operation details like schedules, equipment readiness if there is an equipment down, and emergency plans. The primary goal is to promote a smooth, efficient, and safe start of the operations. So, with this, it is a mandatory that if your shift starts at 6 o'clock or your dining room opens by 6 o'clock, for you to know it is and for you to ensure that the preparation of your station is at par or is at level or ready, you have to arrive 30 minutes prior to your working hours. After that, you check your station, and then 15 minutes prior to opening, you have to take this briefing, the pre-ops briefing, because this is very important to every operations. The daily pre-shift briefing or the pre-ops briefing is very essential and very important to each and every operations. Let's think of you are in a 3 shifting procedure, or your breakfast is 6 o'clock. Your store opens by 6 o'clock. You have to be doing pre-ops briefing 15 minutes prior, which is 5:45, and if you have lunch begins by 11, so you have to start this one by 10:45. And on the dinner, if you have a dinner setup, 6 o'clock dinner begins, so it has to be made 5:45. Why is it, Sir Mix, that we have to do it every time? Because every time there's an update, every time there's incoming personnels, even though we have the logbook, we have the GCs, but they have to be briefed for you, for the leaders to be check the staff also about their grooming standards and uniforms, including their presence of mind, their condition. Those are the things and factors that needs to be checked before discussing everything. So if you're a leader or team leader or a shift leader, these are one of the things that you need to check first before you discuss their stations and the ideas and the knowledge that you need to share with them, with the item 86 and everything. So it is a very important thing that you conduct the pre-shift briefing on a timely manner. Remember, briefing needs to be conducted by your store leaders or shift leaders and or the assistant managers. Okay, the attendees has to be receptionist, food service attendant, bartenders, casual FSA, and including the kitchen. Just a single kitchen representative for the updates of what is running out, what is item 86, and our stock updates. Okay. The post-operations briefing is one of the important things that we need to conduct after our operations. In here, it is very important to be made after the pre-shift function because you need to discuss the happening of what have happened on the certain or on the day operation. If you have any struggles, if you have anything that has to be made for the to be prepared for, so that on the next day you are prepared and these scenarios won't happen again. Is the operation happening? Issues raised, critical issues encountered, and immediate action. If you have an unexpected guest that arrived, or if you have a mystery guest that have arrived, in here also you can discuss the guest comment card, whereas the guest is giving feedback to their experience. And then other than that, any operation concerns, which is probably 15 minutes maximum because everyone needs to go home on a timely manner as well. This is how will you do in a pre-ops briefing. The team has to be inside the room or the restaurant. Staff should gather and stand in a circular position. Everyone has to pay attention to details that should be discussing. What I recommend is every staff, they should have this stickler or small notepad. It's not just a piece of paper that can be thrown easily. Require them to have this stickler and a pen because you are a server, and then so that for the notes they are well aware of. If you have this waiter's booklet while taking order, or waiter's mini folder, you can attach it in there so that every daily specials, item 86 conditions or kitchen conditions, it will be there, and it can act as a guide while discussing it to your guest and offering it to your guest. Ask questions if there are things or need to know matters just for clarification. Remember, this is a pre-ops briefing and it is a team's effort, and it's a sharing of ideas of how will you smoothen things out. Share ideas on how to make service easier for all that would successfully satisfy each guest. Report also equipment hazard that may cause risk to colleague or guest to investigate and resolve the issues. Share also experience from the guest who may be happy because the food, the service, and orderliness of the outlet. All of this has to be shared, especially on this time, not by groupings on while on duty or while in the front of the guest, but in here. This is a perfect timing. But make sure to it that you only do this 15 minutes prior, or you can share it also. You can stand on the post briefing. It's up to you, but yeah, it is required and it has to be short only. Short time, 15 minutes. One of the important topics that has to be discussed in the pre-ops briefing is the memorandum, if we have memos released by the upper management. Next to that one is the guest feedback and complaint, if there's things to be smoothened out. Financial report, revenue standing, if what we have, did we met our daily sales yesterday night, things like that. If you have individual budgets or targets that needs to be reached, to push product items, daily specials, marketing and menu specials. What are the menu of the day, the drink of the day, things like that. What are the promotions and what do we have as a special? If there's banquet events, VIP guest booking and request, if you're working in a 5-star or hotel, staff issues, suggestions and comment. It is very essential and it is very, very important to have this pre-ops and post-operations briefing. What if you're in the opening and you're leaving around 3 o'clock? Yes, you can discuss with this one on the GC, or put it in a logbook so that on the end of the day they can discuss it with the team, with the closing team. In a department or F&B department, there's a lot of kind of meeting, I know, but the thing is, inside our department, which is food and beverage, there are only few banquet function briefing, which I'll be discussing to you in the next topics. How to read BEOs, the functions, the host, or the food requirement, things like that. Setup, yeah, that's under banquet. Departmental and station leaders meeting. These are the leaders, the supervisors, captains meeting with the manager. Project coordination meeting. This is done with, especially if you have an Easter event, things like that. Before 1 week prior, this has to be discussed so that you can share knowledge and any suggestions you can share on it. Next to that one is management meeting. These are being made by the management, especially in daily operations meeting, which consists of like 30 to 1 hour. Timing, if you're working in a hotel, that's around 9 o'clock meeting. Monthly general meeting, yes, to be done. Some called it departmental meeting, which we will be doing as well. And then the annual planning. This is yearly, approximately around September. Okay, well, just a quick recap on what we have learned today. Pre-ops briefing and its importance, how important it is, including the post-ops meeting, which has been made on the very end of our shift or our operation day, and then the monthly departmental meeting, the other meetings. During this, ensure to log it in the logbook. It is very important for us as your managers to see if you did this. Has to be written, has to be logged, because so that if there's an issue, there's for example, lost and found that's been made prior to the days, we can check it back and you can reference it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, this topic that we have discussed, and you learned something new. Again, for more topics, please leave me a message, contact me, and please share this one and subscribe for more topics like this. Again, this is Mix, your online trainer, and thank you for watching.